it's not really the same to say there's nobody choosing to meditate or nobody meditating, then it's meaningless to meditate.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's meaningless.
You seem to.
No.
No. When I say meaningless, because he talked about purpose, and that's, I think, the I don't want to call it obstacle, but that's what I think is what the seeker is. Is always like, why am I doing this? And especially with understanding minds like this. Am I getting right the fact that nothing, not even that I do, but nothing that is done or not done will bring liberation?
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yes. No.
Nothing. No understanding, no practices, no meditation. Not that I do, because I'm not here to do it, but that are being done, understood, seen. Not even seeing will bring liberation.
It often appears that way. It's like watching the bird fly through the sky with twigs in its mouth and create a nest. That's not meaningless.
So it's not meaningless, but not meaningless in terms of the negative thing, but I'm talking about reason and purpose.
Yeah, cause and effect is an illusion. This appears in cause and effect, but it's not. Think of the dreamer, think of dreaming at night. Was it ever because the monk decided separately that it was going to eat the sweet? Or was it because you dreamt that the monk would eat the sweet?
Yeah, they don't have like a will on their own.
Because if it was, like, this is a really funny bit, is if it was about intellectual understanding, then the suffering wouldn't have fallen away here.
I see.
Because I'm not an intellect. There's many teachers in Advaita particularly that went to Oxford and Cambridge and great intellects, so it gives the impression that it's about intellectual understanding. And it's amazing, this really isn't about intellectual understanding. It's about the one that thinks it's the doer and can create and make life falling away. And then there's just everything.
But does it take intellectual understanding to
write it that way?
To understand that there's nothing to understand?
If life writes it that way, but some people wake up for no reason. Like you. And then the seeker came back in and said, now I'm God, I can do this, I can create that. And then the suffering began again. But you never asked that seeker to come back in either.
No, but it seemed to my mind that the going through the patterns of fear, the strong patterns of fear, the daring, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it really seems obvious to me that it's the falling down of the walls of fear, the going through the shyness, the fear, the talking, the expressing, the what's the term? The straitjacket. It's like the piercing of the straitjacket, which is fear and blockages that seem to have brought, but I'm not even sure that seems to have brought. Maybe it was, but you say it just written this way.
It wasn't that going through the fear and the blockages. It was that the seeking fell away because there was because there was a depression that happened. There was an exhaustion with wanting to be the musician, wanting a new album, all of that began to fall away. And then the wanting to stand up to people, there was a standing up to people, so that wanting fell away. Because here, what happened in this story was the same thing. It wasn't that I understood Roger in the best possible way, and that I did everything Roger said, or Tony Parsons or Ramesh. It was that I lost hope in everything. I didn't even know I was losing hope in everything. It just slowly over time, even in spirituality and intellectual understanding. So some people, life writes it, that in intellectual understanding, then all the seeking falls away because all they wanted was intellectual understanding. Here, what actually Lisa wanted was love. And that's what everyone wants, really. But here it was, obviously, even in spirituality, I was seeking that heart chakra love, that feeling of love and being wanted. And it just got exhausted. It just got exhausted. I couldn't get it. And then it was a contentment without it. It was a, and then it all fell away.
Or you can seek relief as well. You were talking earlier about all that knowledge that we gather.
Yeah.
For those for whom it seems to be important, it seems to bring relief. Like a little bit of what I talked yesterday.
Because of that, what way life writes it is that urging, that wanting to understand, in those moments of intellectual understanding, the seeker falls away because it's been wanting to understand, wanting to understand. So it's never the intellectual understanding.
It's the end of the wanting.
It's the end of the seeking. And life writes it in the way that the intellectual understanding gets satisfied and then the seeker falls away. Or it writes it in the way that you're in a car crash and just about to die. And it seemed that everything was futile and the seeking falls away. It can be in so many different ways that God does this. But the one thing that's the same, this is why there's so many teachers that talk about it different ways. The one thing that's the same is that seeking falls away. Always.
Is that why when you can lose everything in your life, including your health, everything, suddenly you can feel free and happy?
Often.
But that's not even sure.
No, it's not even sure. No, because it could be that...
Because this is something in the world, and liberation seems to be a...
But everything happens in cause and effect. Everything appears in cause and effect, and it's never because of that. So we can't guarantee that listening to all these teachings or that losing everything will be the way, but it appears in apparent cause and effect. And it appears sometimes that you lose everything, that you have a car crash, that your body gets ill. So many, like Karen Richards, her body got ill. But it's never because of that, it's because that's how life dreamt it. And life dreams everything in cause and effect, in apparent cause and effect. It's never ever because of the action. It's because life dreams it logically. It's not chaos, this world. It happens logically. If you drop this, it goes to the floor, and again, it goes downwards.
But it's very difficult to. This goes to the floor. This goes to the floor. But then, the intellect is an automatic machine that analyzes everything, or that seems to know something. So isn't that about a reprogramming, a reconditioning of the intellect to say that looks like this, but it's not like this? Is it about this?
It's about the seeking falling away. I don't know, life writes it in so many different ways. For Lisa, it's certainly not about getting a really good intellectual understanding. This mind's never been a great mind.
I kind of get the sense that understanding, the quest for understanding, is a major obstacle.
Because you've got a very good intellectual mind.
Yeah, well, I can just talk from my experience. So it seems that
that when intellectual understanding comes along, there's relief, because the seeking's fallen away in those moments.
In the moments of intellectual understanding.
And the one that's all in emotions, and very much in emotions and bodies, when there's relief in the emotions, then the seeking will fall away, and then they'll think it's about releasing emotions and changing emotions.
Or understanding. Or the understanding that got to release the emotion.
But it depends on how that body-mind mechanism is.
Yeah. There's not the same urge as yesterday to ask the question today. It's just like a little bit of a...
Because it's really not about that. It's about the end of all questions, isn't it? You can
But
see
yeah.
the more happy you are, the less questions
The less
there
question,
are.
I know, yeah. And there's still a little bit of seeking to auto-destruct, because that's almost all that's left. That's why I'm a little pushy even when it I tell you yesterday. Okay, bring it on. Bring on the hate.
So Laura on last night It's like, okay, so come on, bring on the hate, make me feel hateful. So then I was like, I said some like really rude words to him, and then he just started laughing and crying, and the whole energy changed, and then he was happy, and he was like, huh.
It's the attraction. But you want to talk a little bit about the attraction to suffering?
Well, last night what happened, I presume, is that the way life wrote it was that you were avoiding the hate, avoiding the anger, avoiding the hate, and then suddenly the thought came up of like, fuck it, bring it on. And then in the bringing it on, because there wasn't any seeking to avoid it anymore, it just fell away. The seeking was perpetuating it.
But earlier, but during the day, I really observed myself not wanting to laugh. Like there was a laughing coming, and I was like, no, like, no, I'm gonna go back to hate. I need to work this hate. I need to burn the hate. I need to cut my head. I don't want to laugh. Like it's too easy or something. But I see that under that little experience that there's a real attraction to guilt and fear and hate, although they are the worst experience to live. But I see a real attraction to that, and I don't know what to do about it.
But it's, I don't know what to do. It's not you going there and choosing that. It's just the energetic pull. Life writes in the energetic pull is to hate, destruction, blame, guilt. But you couldn't have chosen to laugh, even though you felt like there was the option of two. Because what was happening was the pull to hate. And then finally that broke, and then there was laughter.
Maybe you wanted to try that again and see if it works.
It wouldn't be me anyway.
No, if that comes up, yeah.
If it comes up. It wouldn't be me choosing it. It's like the story maker is having fun with us.
Yeah, but it's not even quite like that, because the story maker isn't like a mind. It isn't like a human mind. So the imagination of the storyteller isn't quite right.
Yeah.